Hello everybody, I am Dr. Neeta Sawan from Pune. Today we are going to deal with the topic impotency and sterility from the forensic medicine. So mainly we will see the impotency. Impotency means inability of a man to perform or woman to take part in a sexual intercourse. And the sterility is inability on the part of a male to procreate or on the part of a female to conceive the children. So there is main important or the main differentiating point as impotency is inability to take part in an actual act, and where the sterility is inability to reproduce. There are various reasons and the causative factors. Then there is a difference in an examination of both the things. So in general, sterility usually refers more to the female and impotency mainly refers to the male. Impotency gives just a cause for the nullity of a marriage, and sterility gives no such a cause. Now we will see the legal issues which comes with the impotency and sterility. The question of impotency and sterility may arise in civil cases as well as in a criminal cases. So for the civil cases, usually it comes for the nullity of a marriage in cases of a divorce. So that is under Hindu Marriage Act or the Special Marriage Act. So because of the or on the ground of impotency, the female can lodge a complaint or ask for the divorce. Then in cases of adultery, then disputed paternity and legitimacy, in such cases, the cases of impotency may arise. Then suits of adoption and claim for the damage when loss of a sexual function is claimed as a result of an assault or an accident. If any male loses his sexual functions after any assault, any accident, or any injury to the spinal column or at the lumbar region, and because of which, if his sexual activity is to get damaged, then it can be asked for a or he can claim for the that damage. Then there are certain criminal cases also as a legal issues. So again, it is in cases of adultery, in cases of a rape or unnatural offenses where the impotency is pleaded as a defense. When there are cases of unnatural offenses or rape cases comes, and if any male performs such a unnatural sexual offenses, and if after the case is lodged, he may, as a defense, he may plead as if he is impotent. For such conditions, a thorough examination must be done. Now we will see the examination, how the examination is done. So examination is done only when it is asked by the court or by the police. Not of your own interest, you cannot do the examination. Only in cases of a court or the police, if they ask, then and then only the examination of such type of examination can be done. So before examining a male, a like to be important, a complete history of a previous illness should be taken, especially in reference to his nervous and mental condition. Then his sexual history should be obtained. Then a general examination should be made, followed by systemic examination. So before doing any examination, first thing is that you should take the informed consent. That means you have to explain him what is the procedure of what type of examination you are supposed to be doing, what will be the procedure, what you are going to examine him. Then and then only, if he permits, take his consent and then proceed for the examination. Again, for the examination, first you have to do the take just the history which are regarding his any illness he has suffered in his past history. Then what was his nervous condition, what was his mental condition, it should be noted. Then ask him about his habits or any other disease. Then after taking all those history, then go for the general examination, which includes his temperature, pulse, BP, like etc. And then go for the systemic examination, like his respiratory system, per abdominal system, nervous system, and then afterwards go to the private parts examination. So in a history, you will ask about his habits, whether he is having any habit of smoking or alcohol or any drug habit. So usually the hallucinogenic drugs like cannabis can cause the impotency. Then whether there are any disease like a diabetes when complicated by the peripheral neuropathy, so it may produces the impotency. Then whether there is any history of a trauma like head injury or any spinal injury, so that should be asked in a history. Then whether he had any venereal disease, usually the syphilis in his tertiary stage can affect the posterior column of the spinal cord, which can cause the impotency. Then whether he is having any hypertension, because the ganglion blocking drugs can cause impotency. So if he is having a hypertension for the long period and if he is taking medicine for that, ask the history about that. Then his occupation history should be taken, whether he is a painter or the compositor and the worker handling lead like products which are likely to develop the lead neuropathy. Then ask his sexual history, like his sexual development, then his marital status, whether he is having any children or not, because that impotency may be temporary or it may be a secondary after some reason. Then whether he is having any sexual deviations, that history should be taken. Then in a male, the semen is examined. It is desirable to him to abstain from coitus for a week. The sample is obtained by masturbation or by prostatic massage and examined within 2 hours for the spermatozoa. In cases of a female, mainly the attention is directed to the development of the uterus, then the patency of the fallopian tubes, whether there are any defect in the vagina is likely to be obvious. So see whether there are any malformation in the genital tract. Then an opinion can then be given on the basis of the available findings. So first you have to take the history, then you have to do the examination, and then the collective data may give you to the direction to the coming to the opinion of a impotency or the sterility. Now we will see the causes of impotency and sterility. So there are certain different causes in a male as well as in a female. So in a male, so usually first is the age. The power of a coitus or erection commences earlier than the puberty, though the spermatozoa are not usually found then. Accordingly, a boy is sterile but not impotent before puberty. That means a spermatozoon development is not there, but he may get the erections. Then in general, one should depend more on the development of the private parts of the individual than on the age. There is no upper limit regarding potency or the sterility in a man. As long as live spermatozoa are present in the seminal fluid, individual is presumed to be fertile. Then the next it is malformation. So you have to look for you have to see for whether there is any developmental anomalies or the malformations like hypospadiasis and epispadiasis may prevent the proper deposition of a semen in the vagina and result in the sterility. Males having undescended or undescended testes are not necessarily either sterile or impotent, but the sterility is not uncommon among such individuals. Sometimes some males are having undescended testes, but they are not the causative factor for the impotency. But usually when there are undescended testes and which if that person notices it in a later age or after some years of his birth, then that person may develop into the sterility. That means there are azoospermia or oligospermia development chances are more. Then the next it is local and the general diseases. So diseases which may result in a temporary sterility. So usually they are the acute diseases of the penis as a gonorrhea, syphilis. Then other diseases like large hernia, elephantitis or the large hydrocele which causes the mechanical obstacle to coitus. Then the debilitating diseases like acute fever, diabetes, pulmonary tuberculosis. These are the diseases which gives rise to the temporary sterility or the temporary impotency. Diseases which may result in the permanent sterility, they are GPI, then tabes dorsalis, tumor of the quadra equina, then endocrine disorders like hypopituitarism, which produces the sexual infantilism and impotency. Then the diseases like mumps, testicular atrophy, and the diseases of the testes and the epididymis. It gives the permanent sterility in that male. Then there are certain injuries and the addictions which plays role in a impotency and sterility, like if there is any injury to head or to the spinal cord or quada equina, testicles will causes the impotency. Then the addictions like chronic alcoholism, addictions to narcotics, then addiction to opium, it also gives rise to the impotency. Excessive and continued use of drugs like bromides, cocaine, marijuana, tobacco, it also produces impotency. Occupational exposure to lead may lead to sterility. Then there is exposure to X-rays without taking proper protection, which may also lead to sterility, either temporary or permanent. So that's why we see many times when we go for taking our X-ray, that X-ray technician wears some gown, so which prevents him from getting exposure to the repeated X-rays. Then whether there are any operation. So usually the vasectomy renders a male sterile but not important. Vasectomy, it is done as a family planning procedure or the sterilization procedure. Then the lithotomy operations may sometimes cause sterility from injury to the ejaculatory duct. Then the next it is, there are certain psychic causes. So if the person is emotionally disturbed or sexually perverted, disgust for the act, dislikes for the partner, it may also give rise to the impotency. So these are the main causes in case of a male. Now we will see what are the causes of impotency and sterility in a female. So again the same as the age. So after menopause, the woman becomes sterile, but she is not become impotent. The same way before puberty, she is sterile as there is no menstrual cycle is started, so there is no ovulation and the chances of getting pregnant is very less or almost nil. Then the malformation, so that is the developmental anomalies like conical cervix and absence of uterus or the absence of ovaries or the fallopian tubes. It also produces a sterility, but it does not produces any impotency. Then the local and general diseases. The local diseases of the genital organs in a female do not usually produces impotency provided the vagina is normal. Vaginismus produces temporarily impotency. So that is because of the irritation, burning and discharge and itching, it may produces temporary impotency. Then the loss of ovaries by the disease or by operation. Then obliteration of the fallopian tubes. It may be because of the chronic salpingitis and various pathological conditions of the genital organs. It gives rise to the sterility. Conditions like retrovaginal fistula or any menstrual disorders like menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, irregular menstruations, all this plays part in a sterility. Then leukorrhea, acidic, so that is the acidic vaginal discharge which gives rise to the sterility. If it is a chronic leukorrhea, profuse leukorrhea, so that is because of the inflammation of the endometrium and it gives rise to the white discharge which ultimately ends into the sterility. Then the next it is the injuries and addictions. So as in a female, occupational exposure to lead or exposure to X-rays without proper protection also leads to the temporary or permanent sterility. Chronic alcoholism and abuse of narcotics as a opium may also lead to the sterility. Then the operations as ligature of both the fallopian tubes or any operation that disturbs the patency of both the fallopian tubes results in a sterility of the female but not the impotence. Hysterectomy also leads to the sterility. Thank you.